Welcome to Frontline. Wire your lens into the shifting tectonic plates of global power. Today, we uncover why the United States is rallying the G7 to hit India hard. The US has officially urged Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the UK to impose sanctions on India and China over their Russian oil purchases. Washington frames this as a moral stand against Moscow, but critics say it's a calculated move to extend America's tariff-based dominance. China's state-run Global Times accuses the US of weaponizing tariffs to tighten its hegemonic grip on world trade. At a recent G7 finance ministers meeting, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent openly called for coordinated tariffs on both India and China. Yet, deep trade interdependence between China and G7 economies, especially the EU, Japan, and Canada, makes extreme tariffs unlikely. India, however, cannot afford to relax. The US sees this as a moment to pressure New Delhi into alignment with its sanctions regime. Flashback to 2019. PM Modi and Donald Trump shared warm ties at the G7. But by the 2026 summit in France, the geopolitical chessboard will look very different. The Russia-Ukraine war has heightened NATO's alert, especially after Russian drones struck Poland, rattling Europe's security nerves. India's trade reality is complex. Its largest bloc partner is the GCC UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, with $161 billion in trade, mostly oil imports. India runs deficits with most nations, except two: the US, with a $45 billion goods surplus, and the EU, with a $16 billion surplus. Trade with Japan is modest at $22 billion and runs a deficit, making it less of a pressure point in this sanctions debate. If the EU, swayed by Washington, slaps tariffs on India, that surplus could vanish, dragging down India's growth trajectory. A 50% tariff from the US, mirrored by Europe, would be economically devastating for New Delhi. India is already moving diplomatically to keep European nations neutral, and Germany is emerging as a key ally. Germany has signaled it wants closer trade ties and opposes punitive tariffs on India. In the EU, Germany and France are the power brokers. If they resist, Brussels is unlikely to act aggressively against India. On defense, India is finalizing a Rs-2 lakh crore deal with France for 114 Rafale jets, 60% to be built in India. Such a mega deal makes it improbable that Paris would back US-led tariffs targeting India. France has also defied Washington on other fronts, from Palestine recognition to independent Middle East diplomacy. Meanwhile, the US might have preferred India to buy F-35s, a deal that would have enriched American defense giants. Even if some EU states impose tariffs, India could pivot, deepening trade with China, Russia, and BRICS partners. Global Times says BRICS nations are ready to boost intra-bloc trade to counter Western sanctions. Japan, a G7 member, maintains close ties with India, another obstacle to Washington's push for a united front. At worst, India may face short-term shocks, but history shows it adapts, survives, and emerges stronger. This is a high-stakes geopolitical game, and India is playing it with calculated precision. Before we wrap, a quick career spotlight. Career 247's data analyst course enrollment closes tomorrow. Freshers can earn Rs-47 lakh annually, with demand soaring across healthcare, defense, and tech sectors. Quiz time. Sushila Karki was recently appointed the first woman prime minister and interim leader after protests. Which country? Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, or Sri Lanka? You've been watching Frontline Wire, where we decode the headlines shaping tomorrow. Stay informed, stay ahead.